The town that painted. Our town is creating its own bio-tapestry, stories bound in calico and paint. Ashbourne's history unfurls across 3 trestle tables. Dove-grey outlines of landscapes, buildings, rivers, playing fields define all that make us what we are, all that we have been. I choose 2 outline figures, backs towards me, waiting patiently for someone to come and paint them into life. Brush in hand, I hover over a snowy palette, nesting shining pools of tempera, until I dive and flit between stone, acorn, nutmeg, ochre. In the future, when I am just a fading photograph, my grandchildren will bring their children to see the picture Nanny made a long time ago, where I will still be standing watching the football match in rust red coat and yellow hat, clutching a nut brown handbag.
So one of my favourite bits is this map here, and I absolutely love this because this was done in 1547, and I'm a map maker as well, and when I do bird's eye view maps, I've done the bird's eye view map of Ashbourne, and so this is somebody in 1547 doing a bird's eye view map of Ashbourne, and all the little houses, the little red roofs, and then he comes to St Oswald's Church and he nearly gets it right, but the perspective of the spire obviously defeats him and it's a bit wonky, and I just love that. I love that humanity. It's like 2 artists talking to each other.
Yeah.
I really love that. One of the other bits also that I love is this, the E of the charter. So this is an illuminated E.
Oh yeah.
There, and it's Queen Elizabeth I, and it's the charter that she did for the grammar school.
Yeah.
And
is that Queen Elizabeth's grammar school?
Yes.
Like, yes, the school in Ashbourne, yeah.
That's right. And it's so finely painted, and so I just had to copy it. But again, copying an artist's work, there's a real feeling of closeness, and I was full of admiration for the way that it had been done and designed. It's just so fine and so beautiful and so detailed. I would have loved to have done the whole thing, but that one little piece there took me about a day and a half. So the paints are just really 5 colours or 6 colours and they're very natural pigments. And to make the paint, I grind the pigments with a little water to make the consistency a bit like toothpaste. And then I put those into little airtight jars, and then you get the yolk of an egg and just have the centre part, not the membrane around it, but just the centre part, and then you mix that with the pigment paste, and that makes a very, very ancient form of paint, and you use that on the canvas, and after a week or so it kind of sets, it cures, and then that's really tough, good, long-lasting paint then. When we were in Sweden, I discovered on a church hall up on the wall this amazing picture that looked like a tapestry but was painted, and it was painted in egg tempera. And for me, also as an organic farmer, it all just resonated, and I thought, oh my goodness me, I found my voice, that's it, you know, it was amazing. So I did some of these paintings, I kind of worked out how to do them, and then I took the paintings back to Sweden, and the Swedish people said, but these are dead, nobody does these anymore, can you teach us? Oh. So for 11 years I've been going back to Sweden every summer to teach sort of summer schools about, you know, this technique. I was also very inspired by the Bayeux tapestry. I was given a timeline by Ashbourne Treasures, and I had to kind of work out how much space would go to each different occasion there, so that I knew that I could fit those onto the large panels, and then I just transferred those images onto the large panels. So in the end, these are the 4 panels, and this is what I worked from. So there are 2 bits that I absolutely love on this panel. One is in 1830, Mademoiselle de Jacques, a 7.5 ton elephant, stayed overnight in the Green Man yard.
Wow.
And I just think that's so random and
Yeah.
so extraordinary.
Mm.
And for the people who were participating in the painting, they were all very taken with that, you know, the fact that there was an elephant staying in the Green Man.
Yeah.
And around about the same time, in the timeline, it said that Princess Victoria had a comfort break at the Green Man when she was obviously travelling around that area. And just to think of Princess Victoria and the elephant both using the
Yeah.
Green Man just is, for me, charming. And then another bit that I love on this panel is here, where we know that Ashbourne is completely unique in its Shrovetide football game, and it's so precious and so amazing for the town. And so, you know, the stories that are associated with it have gone through families for you know, hundreds of years. Well, it's this bit here where Elizabeth Woolley stuffs the Shrovetide ball under her skirt, away from police trying to stop the game. She walks through the angry crowds and turns the ball up from a shop window.
Oh wow.
And that was so wonderful. But not only that, but Elizabeth Woolley's great-granddaughter, I think,
Yeah.
painted her
Oh,
in
did
the
she?
painting. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
why, for me, this painting is so special.